George McLeod. Chuck Person.
Okay, there's Scottie Pippen. Who was it going at it with Thompson's in between he and McLeod?
McLeod, yes, this was away from the ball. Tempers are flaring now.
Person made the field goal.
13 for Chuck Person. Pacers are leading by 4. And we mentioned all week during Super Sports Week, we've been talking about the rivalry between these two teams, and it is real.
Technical foul, double technical on McLeod and on Scottie Pippen. Let's take a look at this play.
I don't know if we can pick it up here. It's going to be
Scottie
on the left side. There it is. Yep.
Yeah, he did. Scottie went to. It looked like he thought he was going to get screened and was going to go through the screen. And anyway, they went after each other, and there's a double technical.
Double technical on George McLeod and Scottie Pippen.
Bulls ball. Person had made the field.
Then it's Scottie Pippen scoring over Kobe Bryant, and Pippen telling Bryant all about it. Blazers up by 10, but Kobe accepted the challenge. Watch him drive the lane, fake Pippen, and then hit the jumper. Jordan's Washington Wizards. We begin with Jordan. Pippen gives him the jumper, and Jordan goes for it. Part of a 14.5 rebound night. Pippen also put down 14 points, including this beautiful weave through the Wizard defense for the layup. A little later on, a little fun stuff between the two former teammates, but the Blazers would have the last laugh on this night as they win in a romp. Sacramento
up 13. Pippen call for the offensive foul, then call for the tee, then gets into it with 3-minute man Rick Mahorn, talking trash, pointing fingers, and Rick did the job. He's out. He takes Pippen and his 19 points with him. That's an effective, very effective 3 minutes.
The Nets have lost 12 in a row to the Bulls, but they got a chance tonight. They lead by 11. Scottie Pippen is ejected from the game for throwing a left hand at Rick Mahorn. It's New Jersey by 11 in the fourth.
So well how to do that.
The long arms of Sally.
Oh, man, foul by Pippen. Taking Lambier down as hard as you'll see. I tell you, I thought Bill Lambier hurt his back there. He came down in a very, very awkward position.
John Sally standing in there to have something to say to Scottie Pippen.
You know, there was an article in the Chicago Tribune after 2 games about Scottie Pippen not wanting to go in the paint. And man, oh man, look at this. I thought he hurt his back. Take a look at this right here.
I'd say there was some contact there. Technical foul on Pippen along.
See, another time defending world champions. That's an offensive foul. Wave it away.
See, they're going through Del Curry right now to get him a lot of shots, and his quick release jumper is just not there on the evening. You got Larry Johnson and Pippen now going at each other. A little feistiness here in the first night of the season.
That foul was called on Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson in a bad mood. He's got a sore back from a herniated disc. And we're going to get double technical called by Jake O'Donnell on both players. What that means, even though you think, well, it's nullifying, it means that each will be carrying a unsportsmanlike technical. If they get into it again, they'll throw them out of the game. Now they've called one on Mourning. These two teams, despite the
posting up Cortiani. Stanley rebound, and he elbows Pippen in the face.
That should be 2 shots, right?
Yep. Stanley Roberts with the elbow.
Yeah. I don't know what they're booing for. I have no idea why this crowd would boo a play like that. So Roberts goes up and says, "You all right, Scottie?" Said he is. So they take the shot. Scottie goes in for a short shot here. Roberts gets it.
Oh, wham. You don't hit a guy any more flush than that. Watch it.
Oh, Excedrin headache, number 35. So Pip to the line.
And Pippen was fouled by Sanders.
That may be the hardest foul so far in this series between these two teams. Pippen with the obvious path to the basket there. Sanders not going to let him get it.
The steal by Rivers.
has won Academy Award honors, and he's all right. Oh, and apparently there were words. Smith and Pippen had words, and Pippen came chasing after Smith.
It starts back when Rivers makes the deflection and the steal and takes off. You never think that anybody's going to have a chance of catching him, but Scottie Pippen came from quite a distance behind to run him down. It's Pippen that throws the pass off the dribble. Rivers looks like he's got clear sailing, but Pippen from way behind catches him, and then it's the momentum which sends Rivers to the ground. He immediately grabs his head as if it hit down on the floor. From behind, Pippen goes for the block. There's no intent there to throw Rivers' body into the ground. It's just two great athletes and the speed and acceleration that causes this.
Looks to be a little act on the part of Doc to draw a flagrant, and then Pippen came racing in the direction of both Smith and Rivers. It looked like the target was Smith, and the officials are talking it over. Let's see how they handle it. Apparently no flagrant being called, and Pippen has to be restrained. We'll be back in a moment.
Took place as Charles Smith walks past Scottie Pippen. He nudges him with an elbow. Pippen doesn't like what happens. A little shove right there because of his teammate hitting the ground. The reaction by Pippen to turn and go after Charles Smith, that's what caused the entire incident. The shove with the left elbow. Pippen turns, realizes, hey, that's the bad guy that hit me. I'm going after him.
The Knicks were looking for a flagrant foul call, but I think the officials who have worked a number of games in which Doc Rivers has been involved, and we say this affectionately, and you know Doc from coaching him over the years with the Atlanta Hawks, he does give it a little extra to try and get the call, and he was trying to give the appearance that he had made contact with his head on the floor and was severely hurt, but as it turns out, he was not. And on Tuesday, and then the scene shifts to Chicago. Pippen hits the three-pointer. Scottie Pippen from downtown. 19 for Pippen, who has certainly responded here this afternoon. The ball committed before the shot attempt. Bill Cartwright called for the foul.
After Pippen hits the three, he runs back. He's looking at Charles Smith the entire time and then makes sure that he gets into his defensive position there quickly. A little bit of
path was this. Charles Smith, a little bump at Scottie Pippen, and Pippen did not appreciate it. They have words, and then Pippen went tearing after Smith. The conversation continued. 5 on the 24. Able to free himself up as Grant went for the steal. Rivers and Pippen in each other's space as play just continues.
In the low right-hand corner, Rivers doesn't like the fact that Pippen knocked him to the ground, so he's got a little bit to say and a little bit of chest bumping to do.
Those calls. Keep an eye on Pippen now, right at the top of the screen. See, he's walking. He'll drop it down. Now watch as he flips it now. See? Boom. He flipped it right at him. He felt that he just threw it with too much speed. Fortunately, Billy Elks, being an ex-college guard at St. Joe's down in Philadelphia,
and able to handle the ball. Now Pippen jumps out and is called for the foul. Greg Anthony, a very confident young man for a first-year player. He was just screaming in the face first of Pippen and then Jordan. Now earlier in the season, he got involved with Michael Jordan. Jordan did not care for the manner in which he was fouled by Anthony, and they went at each other.
Polls show that they're not afraid to mix it up, as both Scottie Pippen and Kenny Walker were ejected for fighting. The game was still up for grabs with seconds left as Trent Tucker...
Did you hear the horn blow? Or have you gone totally insane?
He has the tough foul on Scottie Pippen. But he has had an excellent first half.
4:35 left. Scottie Pippen missed the dunk and a foul. Ron Anderson has checked into the game for Philadelphia.
That's Charles coming in from the left side. You see how he got pushed down. Let's talk about Anderson. And I'll tell you, Charles didn't even make a play. He knew he wasn't going to get the ball. I guarantee you, he meant to take a hard, tough foul. Those are the kind of plays I think the officials should call a 2-shot foul and the ball out of bounds, because that was not the kind of basketball that you need to see. Charles had no chance to get the ball, and he wasn't even worried about getting the ball. He was going to make sure that he got Pippen good and made him think twice about coming in there again.
And now Laimbeer and Pippen, who have been involved in acrimonious playoff encounters the last 2 seasons. Scottie, how much of a personal thing is there going on between you and Bill Laimbeer?
We don't like each other. And, you know, I see him out on the court, and I know every opportunity that he get at me that he's going to take a cheap shot. And I will let him know I'll do the same.
The Blazer defense has been brilliant here in the fourth. Scottie Pippen draws the foul, and Pippen hurt as he falls down. A little further out than perhaps he thought when he attempted the dunk, and went down very hard, and he is obviously shaken up.
Well, Scottie Turley waiting for the play to develop. A little cross screen. Steve Smith trying to free up Rasheed Wallace. Coming to the left block. The play was slow in developing, and Scottie Pippen saw an opening, but you're right, Mike. He left too early, the launching pad right around that dotted line, and couldn't get all the way to the basket.
The officials were discussing whether or not it should be a flagrant foul as Pippen gets up.
Myers getting involved, Davis and Ewing. The next personal foul, 44, Hubert Davis. Also trying to get to it. Scottie Pippen being ushered aside by the official, Bill Spooner.
I'm more or less out there to make us look good as a team and make us play well.
He is the reassuring voice on the floor, yet Pippen has had to stand up to those who challenged him in past playoffs. The label of easy to intimidate no longer applies.
The mental toughness has probably been added to his game. A lot of times you see him stand up to a lot of the guys now, and opposed to when he was a little bit younger, he kind of overlooked it and just like, well, you know, I'm just going to play my game and not worry about it. But I think sometimes you just have to stand there and make a stand just to let them know that you're not going to be intimidated. I think that's what he's doing now.
I just kind of play through it. I feel like that if I be quiet and just go out on the court and let my play take over, then they will shut their mouth. No matter how much I've been criticized, I've always got the last laugh, and I got 3 rings to show.
Chicago decided that they want to get into this running game with the Boston Celtics. They'll come right back to the referee, Jess Kersey, warning X-Man right now to back off a little bit. Don't try and start something out of X-Man, getting the crowd into to get into it, add a little bit of fire, and he knows that Scottie Pippen right there in front of him, just talking a little more trash to him.
Shots going up from the perimeter. Chris Mills got it off the glass, and he's coming to the foul line.
You got Oakley and Pippen underneath going at it. Those two were teammates. Oakley gave Pippen a shot. Wants to try to knock him off his game right now. They know if they be physical with Chicago, get him in a type of pushing and shoving match, that gets Chicago out of the game. Now watch Oakley. Pippen's trying to block him out, takes him underneath. Oakley locks him and then gives him a shot in the chest. Pippen said, come on, please.
Steal by Pippen on the inbounds play, so how's that for the makeup? Now a technical foul.
Oh, and I think Friday is hurting. To try to foul, and then you see Scottie get a little angry, and Willie.
For the Bulls, Jordan's best supporting player this season has been Scottie Pippen, a man once accused of disappearing in the playoffs. Well, that's not the case anymore, and Gail Gardner has the story on that.
If the Grand Canyon could speak, it would sound like Scottie Pippen.
Well, I feel great to see him.
If a Picasso could come to life, it would look like Scottie Pippen. And if Michael Jordan had a little brother playing in the NBA, it would probably be Scottie Pippen. The Chicago Bulls are on the verge of their first NBA championship, and with his second straight career-best year, Pippen has emerged as an all-around star. Pippen credits the high-flying Jordan with helping him come into his own.
Having an opportunity to play with him and watching him, I try to pick up a lot of his game.
One part of his game that I admire, that even I have tried to work on, and we joke about it all the time, I cannot go to the left and dunk on people. He does it with the ease that I've never seen anybody do it, except for James Worthy.
Pippen on the drive, left of the lane to the rack. Whoa!
If there's one main criticism of Pippen, it's that in the past he has disappeared in big playoff games. Ejection against the Knicks in '89. Elbowed out by the Pistons' Bill Laimbeer in 1990. And last year, the biggest headache of all. How have you dealt with the knock on you that you don't come through in big games, like the migraine in Game 7 against the Pistons last year?
It's something that just happened to me, and I can't take it back now. I mean, it was real harsh, real frustrating, but, you know, I tried to give my best effort, and I went out and played, but, I mean, the results were 0.
Pippen hasn't disappeared in this year's playoffs, as the Pistons found out firsthand, and he certainly didn't back down and wasn't intimidated by the dirty tactics of Dennis Rodman.
I'm not going to let that bother me. I'm going to try to put it behind me, and maybe I'll have a scar right here, but whatever. It was a frustration move on his part, but, you know, I got a letter from him today, which, you know, whoever wrote it, you know, was telling me that they were sorry, but, I mean, that still doesn't take out of my mind what he did.
So what you're really saying is that you don't think Dennis Rodman actually wrote that letter to you himself?
It's probably, you know, either his agent or someone within the organization, but I don't think Dennis Rodman is that kind of profession that he would be willing and have the pride to do that.
Scottie grew up in rural Arkansas, the youngest of 12 children. Not recruited out of high school, he began college as the team manager at tiny Central Arkansas. Strongly supported by his family, his one regret is that his father, who died last spring, can't see him play for the NBA title.
Once I grew up as a kid, I think in 10th grade, he had a stroke and he was paralyzed and he lost his speech at that time. And I never did get the response of knowing whether or not he knew what I was doing. I knew that he was watching me on TV. You know, it was the only feedback that I could get to know that, let him know that I had made it and to know that he was very proud of me.
Many folks are taking pride in Scottie these days, from his family to Bulls management to his teammates. Now Pippen wants to take pride in an overall playoff performance that doesn't include any disappearing acts.
Moments ago, Scottie Pippen and the rest of the Bulls coming out onto the floor. There's Pippen. Had I've spoken with him each of the last 2 days, there's almost a serenity about him. If he is experiencing butterflies, if he's ultra keyed up, he's disguised it. Well, I'll tell you what, it's the ultimate breakthrough bout for him. He's had his scars. He's had his wounds. He's had a tough career thus far to this point. He's had some back problems. He's had surgery. He had a bad year about his second or third year. He had to go through the Detroit migraine headache. And right now, Scottie Pippen this season and throughout the playoffs is breaking through to the level of the Barkleys, the Birds, and the Worthies. He is becoming a superstar in his own right, and he proves it night in and night out.
Very, very quick, and look out. Pippen and Rodman looking to go at each other. Now, in the past, I know the Pistons have felt they could take Pippen out of his game with rough play. He has been smashed a couple of times during the course of this rivalry, and you know the story of the famed migraine headache suffered by Scottie Pippen. There's another look at it.
You can see right there, Marv, that he is really getting physical. And I think what has happened is this. I think that the frustration of the Pistons is really coming out. The fact that they can't get the job done.
Timeout has been taken. We'll be right back. Brown wants a backcourt violation. And a timeout is called by the Bulls. Out of 5:19 remaining in this first half, and the Bulls lead it by 9.
This was after the confrontation, and you can see Rodman trying to impede the progress of Pippen. And I'm sure the officials are watching it very closely like the NBC cameras are. And if they see Rodman do anything, they're gonna get rid of Rodman because he's already got one tee, I think, today.
The Bulls going with a backcourt of Armstrong and Hodges. Cartwright, Livingston, and Pippen up front. While Detroit with a front line of Langford.
Avec Myers qui remet.
Oh là 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 là, l'action du match là. Pippen qui a volé sur Pat Ewing. Et Pat Ewing n'est pas content. Pippen qui a plus ou moins marché sur Ewing et qui va ensuite aller voir Spike Lee pour chambrer. Alors là, le match gagne en intensité, rien qu'avec ce dunk magistral. Woo!
La
fans de Chicago veulent voir du basket et pas du foot américain. Mais bon, là, c'est Pippen qui joue les intimidateurs. Pour une fois. C'est d'ailleurs une chose que l'NBA voudrait calmer l'année prochaine. Il a envoyé un sacré message à Spike Lee et à toute la ville de New York.
Up in the box scores. Derek Harper, Ewing fell down, saves it, and calls time. Pippen obviously taunted him as he stepped over him. How about inducing a sense of deja vu? This was moments ago.
Well, it wasn't a dunk, but Scottie Pippen taunting Patrick. Patrick not happy, walking over the top of him. I think Patrick had flashback memories of when he got dunked on by Scottie Pippen earlier. Scottie does the right thing, walk.